All right, hello there. This is Daryl Olson. Welcome back. I'm planning to go try to target here this next month or so some Redfin Pickerel. They're only, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 inches long for a big one, maybe, I don't know. But they're found in small creeks, things like that, down here in the southeast. They're not very big, so I'm going to try to tie up some flies that are kind of like streamers or stuff like what they will eat. So the first one that we're going to show you is called James Wood Bucktail. And to me, I don't know if I want to really call it a bucktail, but it's got bucktail in it. And looks more like a nymph to me. But let's take a look at it and we'll explain the materials as we go along. This here's the James Wood Bucktail. I would not have thought it. To me, it looks more like some kind of a nymph pattern, but it's supposed to represent like a sunny or a little brim or little fry type size fish, real small. And why don't we go ahead and start tying it, and we will explain the materials as we go along. The hook I'm going to use is a 3x long nymph hook and a streamer pattern here, 3XL. It's a J Stalker 235, size 10. And I'll go ahead and debarb the hook. And put that in the vise. The thread I'm going to use is 140 Denier in peacock blue, and we'll start that right a little bit behind where the eye of the hook is. And we'll take our thread just up above the where the barb of the hook used to be or is. Right there. And the first bit of material we're going to use is some chenille in yellow, and this is fine. You know, you could use whatever size you want, but I think the size hook that we're tying on is warrants maybe not a one that is that hides the hook gap, so we want to make sure. And we'll take it up to what might look like the 2/3 point right here, and we're going to just wrap that to that point. And you could probably use other colors to simulate other smaller type of bait fish or fry that's in your local waters. And we'll trim that off. And we'll try to bury this a little bit here. On there. Next we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of white bucktail. And you don't have to take too much. We're going to probably, I don't know, less than a quarter of a pencil width there. You know, sparse is always good when it comes to bucktails. And we're going to clean out anything here. And maybe take the long fibers out. And then I'm going to put it in a stacker. Just to try to get the tips somewhat even. And again, I always point so that the tips are going in the direction that I'm going to be tying them on. And I'm probably going to want this wing or collar somewhere about right there, you know, on that. And I'm not going to cut this off yet. Give it a few wraps. And then I'm going to try to spread this around. And I'm going to trim this off. And this is kind of like spreading it around a little bit. So it's on there, and then we're going to take some same size chenille in blue. And I don't remember if I showed you, but I try to take off some of the fibers to expose a rope right there. And I'm looking at maybe 3 wraps for the head here. I'll go 1 more. And we'll trim that off. And we'll build up a little head with this. And give it a little head whip finish here. And we'll add a little bit of head cement before we do a final whip finish.
And we'll trim that off. And there we have it, Jim Wood's bucktail. On there. And I'm going to try for some of that small redfin pickerel if I can find them. I'm going to go up maybe mid-state somewhere, find a little creek and fish for those. Anyway.
Yeah, the James Wood bucktail streamer. To me, it looks more like a nymph. I'm sure it'll catch some panfish, brim, maybe crappie, little bass, you know. But we're going to try it for redfin pickerel. All right. I'm Daryl, and we'll see you on the water. Give it a try.